Okay, there. So we're on part two of like how did I become a Christian and kind of what's my testimony. And we were at the fact that I was doing a lot of drugs and getting in a lot of trouble. And so when at one point I got so here's what happened. I My parents told me, look, we're going to cut your hair because you're getting in so much trouble at school. And so they took me to the barber, and the barber cut my hair. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, I hate this. And so I ran away. And I was 14. I ran away from home and I was like, I'm done with this life. Well, then I realized if I want a toothbrush, if I want toilet paper, if I want food at all, if I want a place to sleep or anything like that, I've got to find a way to hustle and work and make this happen. And so what that quickly became was stealing and dealing drugs. And so I was doing a lot of that from age 14, and a little bit younger than that too. And so I got arrested and I got put in. First, they arrested me and took me back to my parents' house, and I, whatever. But then I kept running away, and I got arrested. I got put in rehab, and you know, I came out. I was worse than when I went in. I was 15 at the time, and then I left home for good. I was like, I don't. Nobody can tell me what to do. I am unfixable. I am a problem, and I was. And I started doing a lot of acid. And the people that sold me the acid, they said, "Look, man, this stuff is filled with strychnine, which is rat poison. So don't take more than 2 hits at a time because it'll kill you." And I was like, "Got it." And real quick, I built a tolerance, and I was taking 3, 4, 5 hits at a time, several times a week. I'd take a bunch of acid and like not even, I wouldn't even get high off of it. I wouldn't even get off on it. And so I was pretty frustrated at that. I was like, that cost a lot of money, and I wanted to fry my brain, and I was upset about that. So one day I ate a bunch of orange juice concentrate because I was filled with citric acid, and that enhanced the acid. And then I ate a bunch of acid, and then I went to a concert, and it was the Headbangers Ball tour 1989. It was Anthrax, Halloween, and Armored Saint. And I was there, and I was peaking, and I was laughing, and this is what I did every day. I got high every day, all day long, all night long, most of the time. And then all of a sudden, my life changed forever. And here's what happened. I'm laughing, I'm watching the show, and then something's not right, and I fall back in my chair. I fall back and I can't move for a long time. And I was like, something is not right, but I'm struggling, I'm struggling, I'm struggling. And finally I sit up, and when I do, I'm like, this doesn't feel normal at all. And I turn back around and I look, and my body is still laying there behind me. My body is dead. And I was like, that's a problem. And so I put my hands on my face, and when I did, one of my eyes jumped out of my head and was in my hand twitching around. I could look at my eye, I could look at my back of my face, and it was horrifying. I'm like, that's not good. And so I put it back in my head, and I was like, oh my gosh, no. And my ears shriveled up inside my head. I could feel inside my skull, and I went like back here, and I felt inside my brain. I was just like, this is not good. I felt like body parts were falling off and stuff. And then I realized I was not at a concert anymore. And and I looked around me, and I looked at my friend who was next to me, to Jeff, and he was gone, and all my friends were gone, and there's a demon like just up in my face, just cackling and going to town on me. And and then I looked around and I realized like I'm not in a concert anymore, and all my friends are gone, and all the world is gone, and I'm in hell. And I was like, this can't be real, because I do not believe in hell. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in life after death. At best, maybe reincarnation or something like that. I was real twisted into the occult and Satanism and all kinds of stuff. And and I was like, this, I'm too young to die. I'm 16 years old. I'm too young to die. I can't die yet. This isn't real. There's got to be some way out of this. And I've heard people talk about their life flash before their eyes when they have a near-death experience, and I always got the impression that was like a fast forward. Like, look, it just flashed, went really fast. You go, oh yeah, I see the progress. But to me, it felt like almost like a bird's eye view. Like you just like pulled back and looked down, and went, that's my life. And then I looked at it, and I was like, this is not a good life. I did not do good. I failed miserably at this. And then I realized that if I was in hell, whether or not I believed in it, that I would be here in 1,000 years and 1,000,000 years and 1,000,000,000 years, and there would be no hope for me, and there would be no time that I would have a friend again, or smile, or have rest, or peace, or anything else except for torture. And I knew I deserved it. Like, nobody had to tell me that I was there for a reason. I knew that I deserved that, and I was like, I do not want this. If there's got to be a loophole, there's got to be some way out. I don't want to be here at all, but I would crawl through raw sewage for 1,000 years to get out of here. Like, I will go and find the heavy water at the bottom of the ocean. I will go, like, give me a quest and I'll do it to not have to be here anymore, because I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Um, and I realized the implications of what it would mean to be in hell forever. And I was seeing the reality of it, and I was like, I know I deserve this, but there's got to be a way out. And I was like, but how? Like, how do I get out? How do you get out of hell? You know, I'm like, there's a couple choices, okay? And I'm not naive to the fact that this could have been a bad trip. It happens. It could have been a permanent trip where, to me, the world is like that, but to everybody else, they're like, man, there's a rainbow outside. What's your problem? Or I really was dead and in hell. And none of those were good options to me. And I was like, there's no way out, no matter what. Like, I'm trapped inside my own brain, or I really am dead and in hell. And I was like, I can't just like take a cold shower, or you can't Narcan yourself out of it. There's no antidote to acid. You know, I can't just like drink some coffee or sleep it off or whatever. And so um, I racked my brain real quick, and I was like, look, I got seconds or maybe minutes to get this right. And if I don't, then it's over for me, and I'm going to be stuck here forever. And I thought and thought, and I was like, there's not a solution. There's no way out, unless unless there really is a God, and he really will have mercy on me. And that is my only hope, because apart from that, I don't think that there's any hope for me whatsoever. I can't think of a single thing, and my life is fading. And so I didn't even hesitate. I was like, God, I don't know if I believe in you. I don't know if you're real, but if you will save me from this, I will do anything in the world that you ask. Like, I am yours. Please, please, please save me from this, and I'll do whatever you ask. We're going to go to part 3 now.